With bunkers, there's really nothing to be scared of. We just need to get our technique right. I mean, how many of you have ever had a bunker lesson? No, we just blame the sand, don't we? That's the reason we can't get out of them. So watch this video. I'm going to give you some tips. You're going to get out of the bunker every single time and gain more confidence from the sand. Stop aiming too open. The difference in stance as well. So you're playing a lot more A to B than trying to go round and about. Now, the old school way of hitting out of bunkers was aim open. So if you're right-handed, you would aim quite a long way left, and you would open the club face, have it pointing towards to the right almost of the pin, and then the ball would come out with a little bit of side spin. It was always wanting to go left to right. And the reason that you had this aiming more open and getting that club face to point right is, well, there wasn't as much loft on the club as there used to be. I mean, the sand wedge used to be maybe 54 degrees. Now you can get 60. And also, nowadays, the way that the club enters, or the shaft enters the club, it's changed. We can now get the face a lot squarer and open due to the loft and the design of the wedges. So I want you to stop aiming too open and creating too much cut and across the ball, because that sometimes can mean that you're going to take way too much sand and get in too deep. And you can leave the ball in. So we're going to be a lot more squarer in our setup, and we're going to aim less right with the golf club. So yes, we're going to have a face open, but it means open in loft, not open in aiming to the right. So we'll get our feet squarer to the target. Notice how I'm just making a little bit of a stance for myself, like feeling the sand. That's because we want to be hitting under the ball. It's actually the only shot in golf that you don't take ball first. You're actually trying to take sand that couple of inches behind. So it's nice to get that base. And in terms of open, we want the face to point to the sky, like this. A lot of people say it's like you're serving drinks. What I see of people in the bunker is that they stand too close to the golf ball. And when they stand too close, they can't get that wrist hinge and they can't get that loft on the club. The club face actually points down to the ground. So then from here, they're trying to get it in the air with some reverse of the body. So we're going to look at, yes, the difference in aim, but the difference in stance as well. So we're going to be slightly wider in our stance. We're going to stand a little bit further away from the ball in order to lay the shaft down, which gets the hands lower. There's less shaft lean. The shaft feels just more straight rather than leant towards the target. That face is more open, as in pointing to the sky, not to the right. And then in turn from this angle, we can see we've got some wrist break already in that glove hand, and because we're stood further away from it, because our hands are lower, we can get that really early wrist break, so we can get that club head higher, which is then in turn going to allow us to be able to release it underneath the ball and have the sand cushion the ball come out high and soft and land like a butterfly with sore feet. If we're too close to it, the hands are too high, we can't get that wrist hinge and we can't get the face to be nice and lofted. So get some knee bend, aim slightly straighter, get that face pointing to the sky and get a nice little bit of wrist break. So that's your backswing. When you're looking to your follow through, where do we want to connect with the ball and the sand? So you want about 2 inches. So you can practice this, you can draw a little line behind the golf ball at 2 inches. This is when you're practicing, not when you're in a tournament. And you're going to line up the club head to that line and you're going to try and hit the line. Always feeling like we're serving drinks on that club face. When I say hit through the line, this is so, so important. Don't want this and getting that stuck in the sand. Don't want it stuck in the sand. We want to hit down and through. And you can hear a lovely thudding noise as the ski, the sole of the club, enters the sand, comes through the sand and follows through as well. Notice the speed. Got to keep your speed up. So let's put all these together. So slightly wider stance. You can have a little bit more weight on your front foot as well, maybe 65% on that left foot, looking at your line. Your hands are lovely and low in order to get that nice hinge. And we're going to hit the line, we're going to follow through, and we're always going to feel like we're serving drinks. So the ball now rolls out straighter than it ever used to do. Back in the day with Sevi in the 70s, it was all choppy, it was all spinny left to right. Now it comes out softer, straighter. So you're playing a lot more A to B than trying to go round and about. But keep an eye on the follow through. Let's just do one more. That follow through is so important. Facing the target, not facing you. Because if I'm only facing you, I'll get stuck. Facing the target. And it's okay to have some speed in there, because now we've got setup taken care of. Now we've got wrist hinge where we're hitting the sand before the ball. The power of the swing gets caught up in the sand, and then the ball just elevates up in the air and comes down softly. So because we've got the technique right, we've got the setup right, we can afford to be positive and follow through. Well, thank you for watching this video. I hope it's helped with some tips of getting out of the bunker. Always look after the bunker, it'll look after you. Keep watching these videos on HowDidiDo Golf Academy, and we'll see you again next time.